So you tell them, but you don't tell them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But being on TV would be different because
Well, yeah, because then you have to really.
open
They
about
ask you really. They open. They open a lot of doors, where they ask you a lot of questions about how come you haven't read, what had happened, and in your life and that.
You have to tell them about the nun. Do you
Oh,
tell
yeah.
people?
Oh, I have told
Yeah.
some people about the nun.
That's such an amazing story.
Yeah. Oh, I'll never forget that because I had some sore knuckles. I had some sore knuckles. That was bad. That really turned me against school. She had a terrible habit. She didn't like the Italians. She always say Dago, Dago, Dago. Well, and she had it in for me. I don't know why. Maybe because of my nationality and that. And so when I couldn't spell or try to read, she would say, "You dirty Dago, you dirty Dago." And she had this big ruler, and she would hit my knuckles something awful. So that went on for about a couple of weeks or so. And I told my mother, but nothing was done about it. It was an Irish neighborhood, and nothing was done about it. So I continued on going to school. And one day I got hit once too much, and I beat her up.
Do you really do?
I beat her up with that ruler.
What'd you do? You just took it away from her?
I
and you
took it
started to
away.
hit
Well,
her
she
with
was
it?
so little. I think she weighed about 75 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah,
And I was big for my age.
but still.
And I beat her. I beat her something awful. But then come to find out, there was something wrong with her. So they had to put her away.
But how'd you feel afterward?
I felt good.
You felt good.
Yeah, I got it out of my system.
Right.
I felt
You
good.
felt good. But then why were you so afraid afterward?
Well, then they kicked me out of school.
They kicked you out. Right?
They kicked me out of school. They weren't going to keep me there after I beat up the nun. So they kicked me out of school.
What should we call it?
Nun sadness.
Nun sadness, right?
Okay.
So what do you want to write about today? You're going to tell me the story, and I'm going to take it down for you. That's the first step.
I like to tell about when I first came here, coming to school.
Okay.
That I just know my ABCs, and I couldn't even write them. I couldn't write them all, but now I can write them with my eyes closed.
You can, I know.
And I write my daughter notes and leave them, and she can read them, and she was awful proud of me that I can do that. And I can read lots of things that I thought I couldn't. So I had to make up my mind to come to, because I was afraid that there wasn't nobody but me that didn't know how to read. And when I came to school, I found out I had a lot of buddies that didn't know how. So that encouraged me to come on. And just one more.
You want to add something else?
Yeah,
Sure.
about
What else?
the tutor when I first came here,
Mm-hmm.
Julian.
Oh, I remember Julian.
He's the one. He's the one that really worked with me for 2 years until he got me the year to listen to the sounds of the words.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I was really proud of him doing that for me because he's the one who got me started to reading like I am now.
I've heard you talk about him before. He's the one who got me started.
Mm-hmm.
We grew to love him very much.
We grew.
Then we went to this other place where this other place.
What I was going to ask you today is whether you felt yourself changing as you're learning to read. Do you feel like things are easier for you than they used to be?
Yes, it is.
Did you used to try to keep people from knowing that you couldn't read? Did you used to try to hide from people that,
It's some people, yes.
like which kind of
Like
people?
my real close friends, like my wife's friends, it's all educated, you know.
Oh.
Then I wouldn't know.
You
know.
wouldn't tell them?
I'd keep it here for a long time unless they find out. But you know, when you talk to people, they notice how you talk and pronunciation, you know. They might have a little idea that you don't read too well.
You think they could tell,
They could tell you.
but you couldn't let them know?
No.
Because that would be too.
No, I wouldn't just come out and tell them, no.
You told your wife, though. Or did you? Does your wife know?
No, my wife, she knew all the time. Yeah, I didn't have to tell her. She knew all the time, you know.
How'd she know?
Let me tell her.
You told her
Yeah,
from the beginning.
before we got married, I told her. Well, I could still, you know, I could still talk with people and hold a nice, decent conversation, you know, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And being with my wife a lot, and she taught me a lot of things, you know. So that helped a lot.
She talked a lot.
Yeah,
So you didn't have to talk a lot.
that's right.
Yeah.
And then when I go, you know, out to places, nice place to eat, you know, I can order my own food and everything on the menu.
Okay, let me try and write about that. Okay. So Joe,
Joe Stone, some people are try not to let them know I cannot read.
Mm-hmm. Good. Clyde.
Joe Story. Some people
Uh-huh.
is I tried not to let them know I could not read.
Right. And really, I should have said could not, because it's not the same now. That's what you're saying.
Let me.
What is that word?
Oh, this one I miss.
You can put it
Okay.
out here.
Okay, when I first came, H-E-R-E. He.
What is that word, Martha?
Okay, when I first came here,
Right. Okay.
I got that. I couldn't see. That's a no, ain't it? C-L. Right here. U.
It's a no. Okay, what you did was
The L.
you reversed them.
Yes, I did.
The U should come first. Why don't you cross the word out since we don't have a pencil and eraser
Good.
right now, and just
Do it all over.
do that one over.
Okay.
I. That'd be
I.
fine.
That's C-O.
C-O-U.
C-O-U. L-D. L-D. Okay, N.
Right.
T.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what is that up there?
This is an apostrophe. So it's like a little comma, and it's raised above the word to show that there's a letter that's missing.
Okay.
And have you studied contractions? Okay.
Okay. When I didn't know the read, write, writing
Right.
or spelling, she had
Look carefully.
H-I-T, hit my hand with a ruler,
What'd you call it? The
pointer.
pointer.
Pointer,
Right.
pointer.
It's a pointer.
Pointer.
I can know a lot of these words. And so sometimes instead of, instead of reading it first, I think I'll let you give it a try. It's part of it, and then maybe I'll read it and ask you to try it after me. Okay?
Okay. My,
Close. M-E.
me, and my, self,
Yes, very good.
I. Needs a little help with that.
Okay. Got two E's have what sound, Rich?
E,
Good. So it would be,
me,
put the T on the end.
men's,
Close.
Wim-
Meet. I
meet,
meet.
meet,
Yeah.
women, from,
Yes.
they, no,
What's IF?
if, is,
Oh, yeah, you were right the first time.
If.
IF is if.
if would be this,
Diff.
different, different
Very good.
places,
Yeah.
and
Can you read it?
I'll try.
It's your story. You ought to be able to read it.
Okay.
Okay.
In my house, we did not raise any pets. The only one that we raised was a little puppy that we found. We grew to love him very much. His name was He Kim himself. After we have him for 3 years, we moved from the place that we were living when we found
Right, found.
him. We went to this other place. One of the neighbors confused our dog with a coyote because his color was exactly like a coyote's. The neighbor shot our only pet that we ever had.
Ever had.
Had.
How you like that?
Okay.
Okay, want me to read it?
I'll read it through to you and
Okay.
you follow along, okay?
Okay,
And then I'd like you to read it on your own.
okay.
When I first came here, I couldn't write my ABCs. Now I can leave my daughter notes. I'm proud of that. When I first came, I thought other people would laugh at me. I found out other people were here to learn just like I was. Now I can get into class and read. Oops, I left out a word here.
Just like
Just like anybody.
Anybody else.
I
I
like to
like
read
to read
my,
my Bible.
yes, Julian,
Julian,
the
the one,
tutor,
the tutor, that
he's
his
the one
the one was
who got,
who got me started.
okay? Does that satisfy you? Okay, I think it's a great story.
Okay,
All right, would you read it to me?
okay. When I first came here, I couldn't write my ABCs.